What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
What's good? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Are you poppin'?
Going full, what is it, full 4K on us, eh?
Yeah, we 4K right now, cuz.
Oh man. But yeah, definitely we gonna speak about the event and a lot of the other things, especially things like what she just spoke about, the Me Too movement.
Yeah. What's the
Blocking my things, yo.
The Me Too movement is when I can't remember the lady, the founder, but she was speaking about some sexual abuse as well.
All right, hold on though. Before we start on this topic, there, I want to send a special rest in peace to Jordan Viera.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my brother, man. My brother in acting and poetry, spoken word, community activism, black power. Like, yo, he put in so much work. And you know, I'm doing a series right now called Living Legends, and I'm real hurt that I didn't get to focus on him. Like, we don't know who's gonna go, but I'm real upset that I didn't get to focus on him. I'm gonna put a little focus on it because yeah, he did a lot of work, and we gotta like pay homage and show love to all our people that are out here giving themselves. Like this type of work that you're doing, type of work that we do, we're giving ourselves, we're giving our souls out here. And this is not the most well-paid industry, especially coming from Toronto, right?
Right, exactly.
So I want to recognize Jordan Viera right now. Shout out his family, shout out his sister, shout out his mother and his father, like great people, powerful people in the community doing big things, you know?
Yeah.
So he comes from a great family. I just want to send this shout out there, you know what I'm saying?
Much love,
Yeah.
much
Much
love to
love, man.
Jordan. Yeah, we knew him very well as well. We worked with him before in the past, and I'm pretty sure his cousin is CJ Cornwell.
Yeah.
And we worked
Shout out
with
CJ.
Yeah, shout out CJ.
Also
as
do a
well.
lot of, the family, his
Big.
family be doing a lot of stuff
Yeah.
for the black community, and they're very successful. So shout out the Viera family. Yeah, man, it's a tough loss. We feeling it with you. We're gonna be with you. Holler at us. Get at me, Jay Walsh. Find out where we're gonna try to get that information to you about the funeral arrangements or whatever's going on. All right. So we're gonna keep that in our hearts and move on to the topic at hand. We are here with the one and only Mitzi Blair
And Miss Lori.
and Miss Lori. Now, I'm just going to focus on Mitzi because I know Mitzi, you know what I'm saying? And Mitzi is multi-talented, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're multi-talented.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that.
Yeah, no, I met her and she was doing a photography business, right? And then she was doing events,
Yes, yes.
promotions, right? You're doing some fashion stuff too,
With a magazine.
right? And
Yeah, that's multi-talented.
Right?
Yeah, you passed two, it's like,
Right,
all
you
right,
passed
well,
two, right?
Yeah, you kind of you're multi now. You're multi.
So now that you've had your hands on these businesses, you have these experiences, and now you can introduce what you're doing now and where you're going with it.
Right. You know, I just have first I want to just acknowledge my aunt. Just my aunt, she's also on the board. She's a very big part of our business, and you know, she's taught me everything I need to know about business. The very, very first business I've ever had, she helped me write my grant, you know?
This is why support is key. What I
yeah,
always keep telling you, support is key.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So she has her own very successful roofing company. So she knows how to manage, she knows how to, you know, delegate and be rough when she needs to be, you know? So we can still be a lady and still be a boss, and I get all of it from here, so I can't take all of
Say
it.
hardbacks be doing roofing,
That's
eh?
right.
I know, hey, shout out Stripe Queen, female roofer out here. You know what I'm saying? I just shout out my my former guest. You know, she's also a roofer. But yeah.
Nice. Well, going into it, so we create. Okay, so I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, and it's always been a passion of mine. Even though along my journeys of doing the photography and the magazines and other stuff, it's always been in my heart to open up a not-for-profit. I didn't know when in my life it was going to happen, but you know, the creator knows what he's doing. So along my journeys, after I gathered a few of my experience and, you know, gathered my connections within the community and built the brands that I've already built, I decided that I'm gonna step away instead of building other people's brands. Let's build something on our own, right?
Okay.
So decided to, you know, register the not-for-profit And I approached my aunt and a few other people to help me on my board, and it wasn't easy because we've changed it up like 10 times. Because when you're going on an adventure like this, you need to have solid people.
Okay.
And it's like and just throughout it's been rocky, but nonetheless we are here, and we created an organization called Blanket Program, Blanket Supporting Sexually Abused Youth Program. So with a bit of the reason why we created it is because of our really big expertise in photography. So it's a photography therapeutic based photography program, which is long-term goal is to open up a shelter. So
that's amazing.
Right. So the photography program, what we've done in the past is we went into the schools like Jeffries, Westview, Embry. We brought like programming where it's like a 3-week module or a 4-week module, depending on how long the school would give us in this, in there. So what we would do is we would introduce the kids, and this is where CJ came in, and this is where Jordan came in, right? So we would go to their studio, we would bring the kids from the schools, show them what studio photography is like, setting up lights, setting up backdrops, the basics. We would go through the whole thing with them and teach them how to do graphic designing, printing and framing, and teach them how to sell their work so that they can actually make money, right? So throughout that whole journey, I'm working with other people and building the magazine, I decided to step back, and here we are now. So we started doing all the paperwork back in 2014, and at the time I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, is this gonna work? But sure enough, moving forward in 2019, there's a big burst where sexual assault is coming out, the Me Too movement, R. Kelly, everybody's coming out. They're breaking the silence, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm like, something's happening here. I'm like, creator, what have you done? Like, why have you made me wanting to do this? So I know that this project is bigger than ourselves, and as we're going along, everybody's coming along, and more girls are coming out and saying, me too, like, I am a victim,
I think when I just heard you say, it's amazing when you were saying like what you were doing and what you were trying to achieve, and then all of a sudden the opportunity came. And I always tell my son, the definition of success is when opportunity meets preparation.
That's right.
That's the definition of success. So
That's right.
If you don't, so I said you were prepared.
Yes.
And then the opportunity came.
Yes.
And hence that's why. And I'm like, that's just amazing right there. I always say, God He doesn't make mistakes. Nothing's by accident. That's very, very, that's amazing.
Exactly,
that's amazing.
because, taking the skills and the tools from, just writing a grant and writing a business plan, having that support.
We want the youth to be able to have an outlet where they can go and discuss what's going on. A lot of them are scared to come forward. A lot of them, that's why we're having the event on July 20th at the hangar, so that they can see the different places that they can talk about what could possibly be going on in their lives. Because every youth, every child should have a life of being a child.
Yes.
They should not be stressed out about what's happening. And those kind of things need to stop. They need to come forward, talk about it, and get help.
And to know that a lot of the times the people who are in these situations, they feel as if they're the ones who are wrong, and not knowing that the predator is actually manipulating them and taking advantage of them, and sometimes they don't know how to speak. So this is why we're saying silence no more. So eventually, like I said, our long-term goal, like right now, we're creating the awareness. We want to create attention. We want to create the momentum. And right now, we're just starting to get funding. We're just starting to, and we've been working on this since 2014. So, this is where dedication and persistence is key, because don't give up. Just don't give up. If you know you have a dream and you know you want to do it, just go straight for it, and don't listen to what people say. Because people are like, don't do it. Oh, it's too much work. And I'm like, well, I want to do it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
You're getting into where my next question is like, and they'll be like, how are you gonna do it? You know what I mean? The doubters, but specifically the Black and impoverished at-risk community. The way sexual assault with our girls and our women is dealt with. What are your thoughts about that? And are you guys? Is there a specific thing in your program that that deals with that community, that demographic?
Well, the demographic is we're not just going to just put it just for the black.
No, but what there is a specific there's a specific thing for that group, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I totally understand, but this is where the professionals come in. So we are going to be hiring professional psychologists and nurses to take over that lead, because me, myself, or my aunt, we are not the professionals in that in that department. So this is where we will hire them, and then the kids will be able to go in and have their one-on-one assessments, and then they will know what they need to do for
Case management.
Case management, exactly.
Well, you know that you're dealing with us. Is there a, you know, in the terms of the young women that you're dealing with, that you're working with, is there like more from a certain demographic? Or are they all even
to be
across
honest
the board?
with you, the groups of people that we've already worked with has been in the schools in the past. But currently, right now, we're not working with any of the kids until we have other things sorted out. So right now, we're creating the awareness. We're letting the community know that we're here, and we have a program set up. And then moving forward, like in September or so, I'm not too sure yet when. Oops. Sorry. But everything it takes time, right?
The launch.
The launch. So we're doing the launch first, and we're already in speaking with Toronto Public Health in terms of moving forward and going into the different schools.
Yes.
So right now things are still in motion, but we do have stuff from the past that we work with, but just the kids that were in the high schools at CW Jeffries and stuff. So right now we're trying to work on getting into the shelters and all the other high schools. So one step at a time.
That's a good goal.
First,
Yeah.
I shout out CW Jeffries. That's my high school right there. CW Jeffries.
I have one more question. So do you guys have something for young men, boys,
Well,
who have been sexually abused?
So this is why I say it's a general. I'm not just going to label it to just. So in our program, in the business
All
plan,
years.
in the business plan, it's for all gender, because I'm realizing that the boys are very vulnerable right now as well as the girls. So we can't just not look at shun the boys, because especially the boys, they're going through it heavier. You know, and I've been studying and watching a lot of documentaries when it comes to different cultures and different type of abuse and what they're enduring. And it's very surprising when I listen to like the Asian community, it's big, and I listen to the Indian community, which is even bigger, and I'm like, but you know what? When it comes to our community, the Jamaicans and the Caribbean, it's hush hush. It's hush hush. But why is it so hush hush? Because it's so normal, because it's like, you know, they're used to it. But because they're so used to it, nobody wants to talk about it, right? So now we want to break the silence, and we want to break the chains, and here we are.
That's what I just always say. People try to normalize chaos.
Yes.
And once
trauma.
once you can normalize those things, then people are no longer like shocked, or people, once they normalize those type of behaviors,
They think it's okay.
and that's one.
And that's the
problem.
whole thing about the sheeple, you know what I mean? The sheep, you can convince the sheeple that normal is right, or normal is good. Even though they can't sleep, they're stressed, they're crying, they don't know what's going on, and they think that they're just living normal.
Yeah.
And that's why you really have to address it and let them know there's help.
Parents need to also listen to their kids.
Yes.
Your child is going to come forward and say if something's happening. They're going to talk to you about it. A lot of parents just shrug it off,
Yes.
which is kind of not right. If you see your child changing their attitudes or sleeping or pulling away from some activities that they used to do, question them.
Yes.
Ask them if there's something going on,
Yes.
and maybe they'll come forward. And then there's places out there where they can get help.
Mm.
So that's why we want to have the awareness on July 20th, so they can see the different awareness places that they can go to and possibly speak out.
Right, and we want them to know that we're creating this program and this shelter, this entity for them, right? And the community will know, because even in the news, it's a major crisis right now for especially homeless people. And how could we not have any room in this big old city?
Right?
Right? So why not create it? So
I know a whole bunch of buildings downtown.
Right?
Ain't
That's
nothing going on.
abandoned.
Abandoned
Right.
buildings, like
Right?
these whole types of whole buildings.
We used to go to Buffalo and say, look at this waste of space these Americans are You know what? Now look, we just turned right into them.
Right.
There's not enough room in the shelters.
There's not enough
There's
room,
not
so
enough
we're gonna create the shelter. We're gonna create a center where if they want to come in and have a drop in, they can have it. If they want to be able to have long-term transition, they will have that support. And you know.
And that's just to cut. Sorry, not to.
Yeah,
Sorry
that's
to cut
cutting.
you, but the vibrates.
Listen. We spoke about this earlier. Nobody's phone is on vibrate until it happens. Then you put it on vibrate. Stop asking.
Hey,
Stop.
this is how we rolling. This is what's popping. There ain't no vibrating.
Sorry.
It's all good though. You know,
Put it on vibrate after it rings.
Right.
And you call it. You put it on vibrate.
Right now I got. Oh,
You know what
now
you
I'll do it. Don't worry, I do it all the time. But I forgot what to say. Don't matter, man. I was gonna say the shelter.
Yes.
The systematic.
Yes.
Because I worked in the shelters, right? And one thing I said to myself is, these guys are sheltered. You're here all day, all night. You don't have to do nothing. You can just stay. Because, listen, I'm a youth worker. I run workshops. I design workshops, right? So I could be running a workshop in here right now for all these.
Yep.
Listen, sometimes there's just, I need to run a workshop on bathing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry.
Or communicating with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or knowing that you're crazy and
You need help.
listen, if you know you're crazy, just step back from people.
But the thing is, that's why our shelter is going to be there. That we're going to be providing their psychological help and nurses that can assess them on site, and engage them in our programming. We'll hire people like programmers and facilitators, and we're gonna have this is the dream. This is the goal. Also, the reason why I know that this will be effective is because I'm a product of it, right? And going through it, I didn't realize when I was younger why I did certain things that I did and why
Because of trauma.
Yes, because of my trauma, right? And some people, and this is why a lot of these girls are going through the sex trade industry because they've been abused. And then they're being controlled, and then now they're becoming addicted to drugs, and they don't know how to get off the drugs, and then they're probably getting abused and running away. They're sleeping under a bridge without someone they can talk to, without proper treatment and detox. We're providing all of that. This is what we want to provide. We
They also have a lot of relationship issues.
I
A lot
have.
of
What
keeping
are their
jobs.
ideas of a
Right?
good relationship,
What a
healthy
good-
relationship?
Exactly.
I think that's probably I would
I'm
say,
still going through
one of the
it.
biggest workshops is healthy
Healthy
relationships.
relationships.
Is one of the biggest
And it all
workshops.
stems to their past.
Yes, I'm going through it right now. Like
They might not think it affects them when they were younger, but it does.
Of course.
Coming forward.
Of
yeah,
course.
from keeping your laundry folded, like little tiny things. From when I was going through counseling, I realized that because of my trauma, I never liked keeping my laundry folded in a certain way. And after I recognized that, I was like, damn, and I fixed it.
Wow.
You know?
And that's just very.
From little.
That's deep. Like.
Well, hold on, so Dave Rankin shouting you out and saying
Dave
you do a
Rankin?
big work in the community, you know what I'm saying?
Hi.
You know what I'm saying?
Hi.
Here to help, here to house.
Yeah.
Done know.
Oh, Dave. Hi,
Yeah.
Dave. Hi.
Isn't
Rankin.
the beauty of this live feed? Like,
Yeah.
there's an amazing time where it is. Isn't that amazing? What a time to be alive. Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what a time to be alive. They can send a surge and blow up your modem in your house. What a
Don't say
time.
that.
Okay?
So why don't you explain about some of the people who are coming out on July 20th
Yes.
Okay,
and
so
where it is?
Okay, so we're on July 20th. We're going to be in the Downview Park area. It's along Keel. So
Keel
it's
and
not
Shepherd.
Keel and Shepherd. So it's not going to be in the park. It's going to be off the Keel.
Oh,
so
okay.
that way people from the streets can
Can
see
see
it,
Down by
right?
the water.
By the pavilion. You know where you see the big
waterfall.
fountain?
There's a little hill, then you go up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
where
turned that area very lovely right there.
Beautiful,
They turned it, look, they have a
beautiful
waterfall, they have a like townhouse complex.
and the washroom facility, everything is right there. So the way that we're going to be presenting the event is that we're going to have a stage set up. We're going to have speakers come out. We have some lawyers, actually a lawyer, a nurse coming out to the lawyer's going to come out and say
Amazing.
the help that they can provide. The nurse is going to be talking about mental health, trauma, and ways to find help. We have the nurse probably will help us talk about that, but we have pamphlets from Toronto Public Health that we'll be handing out. We have pamphlets from Blanket that we'll be handing out about ourselves and who we are and our entity and our mission and vision. We also have Simone from the Caribbean newspaper.
Here to help.
Here to help.
Wow.
She's going to be the host for the event.
Yeah,
You got like a whole team, like a
Yeah,
squad.
yeah,
They got a
yeah.
whole.
Gang.
Hey, these
We're
are
gonna
all
have you
people
guys come out.
Yeah, they're coming out for the speakers corner.
We're gonna be here.
A DJ.
But that's the
I
whole
am
thing too,
so
is right?
happy.
All the people you mentioned, we know because we're doing the work, right? We're
yeah.
doing the work in the
Yeah.
community.
As long if you're doing the work in the community,
Yeah.
everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
It's funny if you're really doing the work, and then if people don't know you, it's because you're not really doing the work.
Come on out.
Right.
Introduce yourself.
Right? So, and we're gonna have entertainers like Tabby Rockstar, and we're gonna have Twist P. I don't know if you know him. They're like really sick dancers in the community right now, coming out big.
Yeah.
We have DJ Snoopy gonna be entertaining us.
Snoopy?
DJ Snoopy. We also have another piano teacher coming out with her class with the little toddlers
Nice.
piano. So I'm
Nice.
excited to see that.
Wow.
You know, and we have Roots. I don't know if you know her, Kizzy.
Roots K?
Yeah.
Come on, son. We know Roots K.
She's gonna be performing. We have a few. We have some spoken word artists coming out to speak as well.
Spoken word, that's my ish. That's my ish.
Right. So we have the photo booth. We're just expecting a fun, informal day at the park. Right.
Right.
So bring out the kids. Bring out your family. Hopefully we'll be like.
Time it starts at?
We're starting at 12.
Well,
We're gonna be having a raffle.
So for all you people from up the neighborhoods, that's starting at 11. Right?
Yeah, start
Don't come at 4.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be finished at 4.
11 o'clock start. They'll be pulling in and saying, I just got dressed. I'm getting ready.
So
Like,
for the regular people, it's 12 to
4.
12 to 4.
4. But we'll see where it goes. But the main attraction and information stuff will be happening from 12 to 4. Yeah. So I think this is we're not expecting anything. We're just gonna be, we're just gonna be presenting it, and those people who were around, they will come, and who will support us will come, and that's all that matters, right?
That's it.
Correct.
That's it. Support is guaranteed from all of us because we always will support what you do because the work you do is very impactful work
Thank
and it's
you.
very needed work in the community. What you guys are doing is very
Yeah.
it's
Fundamental.
It's needed.
Yeah.
And
Very needed.
it's just like you guys are thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Thinking ahead in a big way, because as you notice, everything you're thinking kind of comes into existence.
It's true.
You know what? It's funny you speak that word, it comes into existence. You know what? No work that you do, that I do, or my auntie does, we cannot do this without the power of spirituality.
Yes.
I would say, I don't like to use the word God, but I'm going to say my creator. But none of this wouldn't be possible without, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from, where I've already said, the power of manifestation works. The power of the tongue is serious. So this is great. You have to be careful about the things that you say. And when you know what you want, it's very important. You write it down. When you listen to all the successful people speak, and they tell you the same thing over and over, write it down. Speak your things that you want, and just allow it and let it out into the universe. And sure enough, the right people, the right things will come, and you're like, oh my God, I was just saying I needed that yesterday. But you know why? Because you manifested it. And when it happens, you just give thanks.
You know how the phones have
The algorithm?
It's
Yes.
just a
That-
synthetic version of that.
Yes.
So algorithms are when you try to speak into existence.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
What is an algorithm? It's a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
So this is what your speaking does. It tricks your brain into activating the magic that your brain could. You see, we only the smartest guy on the planet ever using 10% of his brain, right? So when you're tricking your brain, you're getting a little bit of that 9% that start working and bringing stuff to you. You know what I'm saying? So you're tricking your brain because some
Like
people
a
have the power.
magnet.
Some people, they have that
No,
confidence.
words are very powerful.
Your tongue is very powerful. Everything that you speak, don't you realize if you have to pay attention to it. This is just your challenge. This is your challenge. Just do it. Try it and see what happens. Just for the week. This is a new week. It's Monday. Try something new.
It's actually fun.
I always believed in that because I always told people, if you're driving in a car and you say cop, you go drive and see.
Cop.
You
Don't even say that.
You be driving for dear life, but it's people be like, I don't see no cops. Guess who you go
right
see?
behind you. Because you call it. You call
You spoke it
it.
into existence. It's
That's
like,
why they say, don't wash your mouth upon me.
That's right.
Old time people.
because you think about it, you don't want to be in the air on your airplane still and be like, man, this plane flight was going great. You're not down yet. You're not down yet.
Yeah, no one's thinking, when you're in a situation and you want want it to be positive. You're not gonna think negative, are you? No, because you want a positive result.
Yes.
And then there's the people who have that negative, they have practiced
Yeah.
negative self-talk.
But that's how they destroy
know?
themselves. Those people, they're not very productive. Those people are very,
Yes.
very slow.
Yes.
Those people, they will try to break your dreams so
Yes.
that you can come and join them in their
In their moping.
Yeah, and their
As long as
sulkiness.
you're aware of those people and those
Yeah.
people exist, you know how to
Handle
maneuver.
You always want to go forward.
Yes.
2 steps forward, you don't want to go back. You just want to keep going forward and follow the dream.
This actually brings us to my my tip of the day is go on YouTube and type in "Who moved my cheese." It's a nice little cartoon story about moving on instinct and moving and then hemming and hawing and being in your feelings about things not going your way. And then but moving in instinct can make that problem disappear because you're moving forward to the next opportunity.
Risk.
Instead of sitting down in your, oh, why didn't it happen for me? We don't never win. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what we're all about, the empowerment. And tell them, how about social media, where they can find you, how they can get at you?
Well, we have our social media page. It's at the Blanket Program Charity. They can follow us there. They'll get all the updated on what we're doing, what we're up to, and stuff like that. And once we finish this campaign, we're hoping for another one November, October. We're looking to have to put on a comedy show, and all the proceeds from that will go
That's
towards
amazing.
us.
Hey, Tricks,
That's amazing.
Jay Martin, holla at me, yo, I'm trying to get into the comedy game too. Huh?
I'm looking for B. Simone. I'm looking for Jessica the Mess. I'm looking for Major
females?
Heights. Mitzi's an all-female roster, and we're gonna.
Major Heights not female, you said
But,
Major Heights.
Hold on,
The reason
just
why
put a wig on.
Major
Just
Heights,
put a wig
yes,
on.
with the Mitzi skin.
Yeah.
That's why we want.
She don't want on the roster.
No.
She just want Mitzi.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
we're looking
God.
for that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be
Yeah, big up the females
exciting,
still.
right? It's gonna be. I want to call it the all-star comedian. I'm not too sure. We're still in the works with it, right? So with all proceeds from that, we're working towards getting the shelter, and
She's
so
been doing a lot of big work, man. She's been doing a lot, man. Like,
we want it. We want it. When you want it, you go
she
for
hungry, man. She
it. Hungry.
she'll buy your business, man. Watch out.
Right? She talking about restructuring. And she be on it.
She doesn't just sit back, we get it done.
Yeah.
You get it done.
Get it done.
But I
get
can't
it
do this
done.
on my own. You know, this is why I have my lovely aunt, and she's also, one of my
partner.
my biggest
But
partner.
that's what you can go so far in life if you just have
Just a
someone
little
supporting
twinkle,
you.
just-
If you can go, they were showing footage of when Zion got drafted #1 and he started to cry because he couldn't even speak because he says, my mom gave up her dreams for mine. He said, I don't know how I'm here.
Yeah.
And just that one person supporting you,
Yeah.
look where that got him.
Makes
You know,
a
just
difference.
that one person just saying, I got you.
Trust me,
I support them all, there's a lot of them.
yeah.
And that's why, you like you are a true blessing, man.
Yeah.
It's like, people like you are what, when people speak of good people in the world, they're speaking of people like you.
Definitely.
Yes.
Like, I will wash her feet and drink the water. That is no lie. I'll do it right now. But
No.
that's how much I love and respect my aunt. Like, she's
That's why you say when you have love and support like that,
Yeah.
that's real.
You'll go far.
yeah.
You'll go far, and
I
it's
push them
priceless.
to go far.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, yo.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys so much for coming in,
Well, thank you for having us.
and we will be having you back.
Yeah. You're gonna be at the event anyway.
Yeah.
So
July 20th.
Yeah.
July
inside
20th, Downview Park.
So follow our page.
Yes.
You guys will be posting it. We'll be posting it. So just stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned on social media and see what's up.
And just remember, strong girl, strong world. You know what I'm saying?
How long did it take you to come up with that? How long were you sitting? You were sitting on that for a minute.